Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex, here bringing you my predictions of what Nintendo will bring to us in the year 2021. After a fairly quiet year from them, I think Animal Crossing was really the only really huge big game that wasn't a port or remake or whatever, so I reckon we'll get more this year coming. So let's just see what my predictions are. Just bear in mind these are just my thoughts, just my gut instinct really. I have no inside knowledge at Nintendo. Obviously I hear rumours and things like that which might influence what I think, but I'm just going to go through a bunch of Nintendo franchises that might be likely to come up and just let you know what I think those franchises will bring this year. And at the end of the year I might look back at this and just see how many of these I got right. So let's start off with Mario himself. So we know that we're getting a Super Mario 3D World plus a Bowser's Fury in February. Other than that, I don't think we're going to get any new Mario platformers, no 2D ones, no 3D ones. I don't think we'll get anything of Odyssey 2. This is just 3D World's year, I think. I think maybe we could get Galaxy 2, but because we are losing 3D All-Stars by April, we are at the end of March. So I think those games are going to go individually on the eShop, and maybe Galaxy 2 could get released that way. So if they are going to do another Mario game, I think it will be Galaxy 2. But I'll talk about 3D All-Stars a bit later because I have another idea of what they could do with that. So staying with Mario but away from the platformers, let's go to the spin-offs. I think we will get no Mario Kart because we had Mario Kart Live just a few months ago. And obviously we've got Mario Kart Tour, I think that's still getting stuff, so I don't think we're going to get any Mario Kart 9 or anything like that on the Switch this year. But onto sports, I think we might get a sports game, because the last one we got was Mario Tennis Aces, and yeah, that was 2018, so this is going to be 3 years since that came out this year coming. So I think it's most likely to be golf if we do get another Mario sports game. And I don't think we're going to get an RPG at all, so no Mario and Luigi game, no new Paper Mario. I've heard rumours that they're going to do a remake of the original Paper Mario, which I would love to see. My prediction is we're not going to see that. We've just had Origami King, but I want my prediction to be wrong here, so we'll see what happens. On to Donkey Kong now. I think we will see a new Donkey Kong Country game this year. We might not get the game coming out, but I think it will at least be revealed, although Nintendo have started this habit of just dropping a trailer and then releasing the game like a month or two later, so who knows, we could see Donkey Kong Country 6 or, you know, Tropical Freeze 2, whatever they're going to call it. We could see it like revealed this year and then released a few months later, who knows. But I do think we will at least get a reveal of a new Donkey Kong Country game. On to Zelda. Well, I've already done a video, I'll put a link in the description, saying all my predictions for what they'll do to celebrate the 35th anniversary. I think they will do a celebration like they did with Mario's, and I think the most we'll get out of it this year for definite. I think we'll get some sort of ports or a collection, maybe Wind Waker Twilight Princess, maybe a Skyward Sword remake. I don't really know, but I've heard recently the idea that they could do a Link's Awakening style remake to the Oracle games, which I would love to see that. So my prediction for Zelda is, outside of 35th anniversary celebrations, I think we will get some sort of port or collection of Zelda. I think we will get details of Breath of the Wild 2. I don't think we will get it this year. I think it's just going to be, it's coming in 2022, here's a trailer, here's a load of details about it, but other than that we won't see it released. On to Metroid. I've already done a video predicting Metroid's 35th anniversary, but really on the anniversary celebration side of things, we're going to see absolutely nothing from Metroid. But I think we will get a trailer for Metroid Prime 4. I don't think it will be coming out this year. People say about Metroid Prime Trilogy, people have been predicting that for so long now. I think it would have come out by now if these rumours were true. So I don't think we will see Metroid Prime Trilogy this year at least. On to Kirby. I think it is time for a new platformer for Kirby. We've had the spin-offs and stuff since Star Allies, which came out, would have been 3 years ago by the time next year rolls around. So yes, I think it's time for an actual Kirby platformer, in whether it's a traditional one like Star Allies or Kirby's Return to Dreamland, or whether it's going to be a gimmicky one like Kirby's Epic Yarn. Obviously I don't know. I've heard rumours of a 3D one maybe, but we'll see what happens there. But I think yes, we will get a new platformer from Kirby this year. On to Pokemon, I don't think we'll see Gen 9 at all. I don't think we'll see any more DLC for Sword and Shield. I think that game's done now. But I do think we will get new Pokemon Snap this year. I don't know if that's got a release date or not yet, but I think we will definitely see it. I think it's the series' 25th anniversary this year. So I think we'll get Diamond and Pearls remakes. That's what I'm going to go for as a November game this year from Pokemon. And there's also something else I think they could do, which I will bring up later on, because there's something that it goes with later on, so we'll see what happens there. I've also heard rumours of a remake or port of Wario Land Shake It, or the Shake Dimension as it was called here, which I can see that happening. I can see that happening completely, a remake of Wario Land Shake It. Why not? I loved that game. I'd like to see that. I'd prefer a new WarioWare game, because I mean those Joy-Cons are just made for WarioWare, come on. But I sadly don't see them doing that, although I'd love to be wrong there. As for Animal Crossing, I think we're just going to get the usual updates to that game, but nothing actually big or new in that series. I also think we're going to see nothing from the following franchises. So I don't think we're going to see anything from Pikmin. We've just had Pikmin 3 Deluxe released on the Switch. I don't think it's Pikmin 4. A reveal of it, maybe, but not an actual release this year. We're not going to see Star Fox. We're not going to see Yoshi. We're not going to see F-Zero. We're not going to see Punch-Out! Sadly, we're not going to see Kid Icarus, I don't think. I'd love to see a remake of Kid Icarus Uprising put on the Switch with dual analog controls. That game was absolutely incredible, but I cannot play it without my hand just going dead while playing it, and it's just a shame that it has to be the case. But with Sakurai busy on Smash, I think they'd want him to lead that project if they were to port it to Switch, so maybe once this Smash DLC's done he can go to work on that, so we'll see. But no Kid Icarus this year, sadly. Also, I don't think we'll see Splatoon 3 this year. I don't think we'll see Splatoon 3 until the next console. I think Splatoon 2's enough for the Switch, but I could be wrong there, but I don't think we'll see a new Splatoon game. A spin-off if anything, but I don't see it happening. And I also don't see anything happening from ARMS. I've already done a prediction of what an ARMS sequel could bring, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see Nintendo doing that. As for new IPs from Nintendo, I can't see anything big from them. Obviously it's going to be really difficult to predict what they could do with a new IP, like what genre would they pick, or I mean, maybe something like Good Job or Stretcher, sort of like a smaller eShop game they might publish, but I don't think we'll see a big new Smash Brothers worthy IP from them this year. But one game that isn't being made by Nintendo, is being made by Platinum, but exclusive to the Switch, Bayonetta 3, that is coming in 2021. I am predicting that right now. Okay, so that's all of the specific games I want to talk about. Let's talk about some extra things that I think Nintendo can bring to us this year. So, Nintendo Switch Online. We had the NES games in the first year, we had the Super Nintendo games in the second year. The third year anniversary of that service, we didn't get anything new. I think we will get a third version of that service this year. The natural thing would be the Nintendo 64 games to be on there, and which I love for that to happen, absolutely love it. And I mentioned 3D All-Stars earlier on because I think that could link into this, because how can you launch an N64 app on the Switch without Super Mario 64 being there? Maybe the reason why it was delayed, other than obviously pandemic reasons slowing things down, maybe they were waiting for 3D All-Stars to go and then just put Mario 64 on the N64 app and then have Sunshine and Galaxy sold separately on the eShop. Now, that is not fair to people that bought 3D All-Stars, that one of the games they've paid for is suddenly free with a subscription. So, what if to make up for that, they add Galaxy 2 to the eShop to sold separately, and people that already bought 3D All-Stars get it for free or get it for half price or something like that. So there is value in having 3D All-Stars still. You don't have to buy Sunshine or Galaxy, you've got them on your 3D All-Stars, but Galaxy 2 is a nice little bonus you get for those that bought 3D All-Stars, and those that didn't, they got Mario 64 in the N64 app, and the other 2 games are available to buy separately. Galaxy 2's out as well. Happy days. That's one way of doing it. So I think we could get an N64 app added, and so that would come out in April, I'd say, just after March, after it's disappeared. And I also think maybe if they didn't go with N64 games, I think the natural thing they'd do instead would be the Game Boy games. Now, I don't want to talk about, just the original Game Boy, like the monochrome screen, like Mario Land and things like that, although I'd like to see Game Boy Advance games because there's just more to them. So if they released an app that was just the Game Boy family and just Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games all on one app, and then you could have your old Game Boy games, you have your Game Boy Colors and your Game Boy Advance games, and then that would be quite a meaty app to have there of a range of 3 sort of versions of Game Boy there. That would be a really good app to have. And seriously, if they don't go with N64 games and just put the original Game Boy, I think a lot of people would be angry. But if they did Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games in one app, I think people would be a lot more happier with that. So I hope they do that. Also been rumours of a Switch Pro. I think that could happen this year because Switch came out in 2017. 2019, 2 years later, we got the Switch Lite. So 2021, 2 years later, we get the Switch Pro. Now, I think this isn't going to be like some big new console, new hardware thing. I think the difference between the Switch and Switch Pro would be what the difference was between the 3DS and the new 3DS. I think it's just going to be something like that. So nothing too major. So people that don't buy the Switch Pro aren't missing out on a lot. But maybe there could be 1 or 2 exclusive games on the eShop that only the Switch Pro can do. But other than that, it would enhance your Switch games and stuff like that. So that would be pretty cool, I'd say. And final prediction, I'm going to say Nintendo are going to bring back the Nintendo Direct. It's looking like we're not going to have any. We haven't had any since September 2019, like a big proper one with a load of reveals and stuff. We've had like the partner showcases, which I think they might continue that because they said it was the last one of the year, not the last one ever. And they haven't ditched the Direct name, although you'd expect if they stopped doing them, they'd ditch the name. Like they did that Super Nintendo World showcase thing, and it's like they called it a Super Nintendo World Direct. They still kept the word Direct there. So that tells me they don't want to ditch that branding. So maybe, now a lot more things are going to come out and they can be more comfortable with time limits and like release dates and stuff, because that's why I think they were shadow dropping stuff on Twitter. They didn't want to direct revealing a load of new games, promising them coming out in September, coming out in October and all that, because of the pandemic, things being slowed down, people being unsure of whether they can meet the deadlines. They didn't want to reveal a game until they were absolutely sure that deadline was concrete. So that's why they didn't reveal Paper Mario till a few months before it came out, because they were like, yes, it's definitely going to meet that release date now. Pikmin 3, yes, definitely October. It's done. We can't not release it that day now. So I reckon that's why they didn't want to release a load of things in February, say, of like Pikmin 3 and Paper Mario, and then be like, oh, hang on, we can't release it now, we're not quite done with it yet. So it's like, oh no, we're having to delay this, we're having to delay that now. So maybe it's good that they're saving their reveals until they're absolutely certain everything can come out when it is. But I think obviously this year, maybe not straight away, maybe not a February one, but I think if E3 does happen this year, obviously we have no idea whether it will or not yet, but if it does come back, I think that'll be the next Nintendo Direct, and that's where we'll get the information on Metroid Prime 4, Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2, and like a new Kirby game and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically what I think Nintendo will bring this year. So what do you think Nintendo will go bring us in 2021? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you click that like button, make sure you subscribe, because you don't want to miss next year's video. where I go through all these predictions, see how many I got right, and then make my predictions for the following year. So that'll be all good to see, worth the wait, I'd say. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. See you in the next one.